Hello. The following video is basically a response to a person who has been for about 18 months protesting very strongly against all the evidence supporting the notion of kinetic energy. And this is just one of the experiments that he proposed 6 months ago, saying it would prove things once and for all. I did the experiment. He refused to do. It's quite a simple experiment, just basically chucking balls of different masses and seeing how far they go. I did the experiment for him about 6 months ago, and he didn't like the results because they proved him wrong. So I did it again, and he still wasn't happy. Anyway, I finally got around to doing it again. Absolutely pristinely within the bounds of his instructions, so that he has no reason whatsoever to object to what I've done. And now the results have come out even better, virtually perfect, really. So once more, hammering the nail in the coffin of one of the theories of Gary, Draftscience. So anyway, that's what you've got to look forward to here. I'll shut up and get on with it.
Just take any kind of spring loading device and
press that, off it goes in a pin like this. Yeah, okay.
remember, all you really want to do is put any kind of object on it. So even if you shot them off the edge of a table, you're just going to take a 2 mass.
62 grams, yes. 62 grams, 62 grams.
And a 1 mass.
So this is the light ball. That's weighs 31 grams, yes. 31 grams, exactly half, okay.
And do the experiment with those two different objects. Place one in and see how far it goes. Put 2 in, see how far it goes. And the idea would be is that the light one will fall, twice as far.
Except that doesn't happen.
This is a dead parrot. I mean, this is a dead theory, Gary.
This parrot is no more.
Gary just refuses to accept that it doesn't happen, though.
Well, he's pining for the fields.
Okay, it'll go twice as far away as the heavy one.
Doesn't happen.
Pining for the fjords?
That doesn't happen.
This one will leave with twice the velocity.
What kind of talk is that?
That doesn't happen. He just refuses to accept that it doesn't happen.
Which means, that I can compress springs with heavy objects and shoot springs with light objects, and I can double my energy.
What kind of talk is that?
I don't know what to say to that.
So there is free energy.
If you say so, Gary.
So it will prove free energy.
I'm pretty sure it won't.
This experiment decides the question once and for all.
He says that, but he doesn't mean it. He's only saying that thinking the outcome is going to go his way. And when it doesn't go his way, suddenly he's going to forget that he said this would decide things once and for all. It only decides things once and for all, as far as he's concerned, if he gets the result he thinks he's going to get.
Well, I better replace it then.
But he's disappointed. He's not going to get those results. Ever. Only in his dreams.
I didn't want to work in a pet shop. I wanted to be a lumberjack.
It's just a fantasy.
It basically says if it doesn't land here and instead lands here,
which is what happens. It does land about 1.4 times the distance away, not twice the distance away.
well, here's where they're saying it would land, 1.4.
Yes, correct.
So instead of 2x, it'll only go 1.4x.
Yes.
All right, I say that logically you can understand this can't be the truth.
But Gary, nobody cares what you think. We only care about what actually happens in the real world when we observe it, and you're about to observe it. But somehow you're going to carry on denying it, aren't you? Because you're incapable of accepting what you see, what is proven for you.
Holy parrot!
There he moved.
No, he didn't. That was you pushing the cage.
By you, if you bother to do the experiments that you came up with. It was a good idea, but you should have done it as you specified, not your modified rubbish version designed to fail.
This bullshit.
So you are calling nature bullshit. You might as well be calling gravity bullshit, Gary. You might as well be calling the sun bullshit. It's just silly.
Can't possibly be the truth.
If we don't labour the point, I don't think Gary will ever get it. This is a dead parrot. I mean, this is a dead theory, Gary. Half the mass does not go 2 times further, 2 times faster. It goes, as science predicts, 1.4 times. I'm sorry, get used to it. I used your idea. I did it your way. And it came out even better. So well done. Well done for assisting in proving your own ideas completely and utterly wrong. This is a dead idea, Gary.
Hello, Follies!
It's dead in the water.
Wakey, wakey!
Give it up. Move on. Do some real science.
Now that's what I call a dead parrot.
62.1 divided by 44.2 equals 1.4. 1.4049. Let's call it 1.4.
Now that's what I call a dead parrot.
This experiment decides the question once and for all.
This is a glass plate. So we have the pen, elastic band, a wire that hooks over the pen, a quick release mechanism. Press that, off it goes. That edge where it leaves the glass plate, that's in line with the edge of the stick going to the ground, in line with this. This edge of the black tape is the starting point I'm going to measure from, and we have a measuring tape. As before, silver foil measuring tape along the edge. I'll get on with it then, but just... Right, so I just want to show you weighing the balls. So this is the light ball. So that weighs 31 grams, yes. Then the other one, over this one, 62 grams, yes. 62 grams, 31 grams, exactly half, okay. I forgot to include an image of these. Yes, I forgot to include an image of the results. See where those rebounded off there. The large ball hit there, bounced and hit there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In case it helps to look at that. That was the system we had.
This experiment decides the question once and for all.
We put the ball there and we flirt them off by quickly releasing the pin like this. Yeah, okay. This edge of the black tape is the starting point I'm going to measure from, and we have a measuring tape. As before, silver foil measuring tape along the edge. I'll get on with it then, but just need to mount the camera from the other side so that you can get a clear view of what's going on. Hopefully that camera's picking up this reasonably well. So, okay, first of all then I'll do the heavy one. Okay, 62 grams. Okay, so first of all, set the elastic to there. Put that on there. And nice clear mark, so I'll put a little circle there. I'll do a few, obviously. Exactly the same place, that. Virtually on top of one another, which is always good, I suppose, isn't it? Again, within the circle I've already drawn, you know, just dot, dot, dot. I'll still carry on doing more though. Exactly, all four have landed in exactly the same tiny size of my fingernail, little fingernail. Oops. Again, landing exactly the same every time. Okay. It's picking up on that camera as well, yeah, the webcam. Okay. So we've had 4 hits in there, okay. So it's obviously, that's, no, 5 isn't it actually, just let me do one more. Lost count. I'll do 10. 10's a good number. That one's just the first one that's just on the border of it. Again, same. I have lost count. 7, I'd guess. 8. 8 out of 8. In exactly the same place. Where's the pen gone? Lost my pen. Where's my red pen? That's for the next one. Where's the black pen gone? Maybe it's something telling me you've done enough. I can't find my black pen. Let's just carry on then. Let's get on with the small one now. Okay. 31 grams. That's the one with 62 grams. Now I've got to watch here because we've got some rebounds. I'm just going to put a circle around. Oh, I'll find my black pen. I'm just going to put a circle around. The camera can't pick it up from here, but there's a little cluster of rebounds that are from that. So the 62 gram ball's gone. It's landed there, then bounced and landed there. Okay. So I'll circle them so that I don't get mixed up with, I have to put little dots in them, or black dots, so I don't get mixed up and think that they are the red one. Okay? So I've done one red one. Remember, Gary says that this is decisive. Oops, sorry. I missed that. I didn't see where it went. I was talking, you see, that's what happens when you're too busy talking. Once and for all, he says. So once and for all, Gary says. I'll watch this time. Ah, there you go. Oh, I can see where the last, yeah, sorry, I can see where that last one went. It went right next to the other one. I should have known, shouldn't I? Exactly the same place. 3 in a little cluster again. Right, 3 in a little cluster. I'm not taking the measurements yet. That can wait to be a surprise. But Gary says, again in the same cluster. I can't.
They're all landing in the same place. Was that 4? Exactly in the same place. Because they land in the same place, it's hard to see the mark because it's one mark on top of another mark. Is that 5 I've done? Again, that was the shortest one, but only by about 3 millimeters. 6 that was, wasn't it, I think. Same again, bob in the middle of them all. 7, last one. Seven. Again, that was the shortest one of the lot, that was actually, but it was still within that circle. Right, okay, so take some measurements now. Ow! Stumped my toenail there. Bumped my toenail. So if I use the spirit level to, not as a spirit level, but I'll go for the maximum. I'll look at the maximum one, you know, not there. Well, that's the furthest forward one, and that's the furthest back one. You could say do the average, but I think that's silly. Just do the furthest forward one. That's the furthest forward one. That's the furthest back one. Could do the average. Seems pointless. Just do the furthest forward one. So the furthest forward of this one is. So we're measuring from the edge. That's 0. That edge of the black tape. And this is the furthest forward one is. That's straight. 44.1. 44.2 maximum. I'll measure minimum as well, and minimum is 42.9. 42.9. And now do the other one. Furthest forward one. Furthest forward one is 62.1, and the furthest back one is 61.4. Okay, so I need to use the computer to do a calculation. So I divide 61. Ow! I just shot a plug. Oh. Nothing worse than treading on an upturned British plug. 62.1 divided by 44.2 equals 1.4. 1.4049, 1.405. Let's call it 1.4. If we did the averages, very, very small discrepancy. But the averages would have been 61.75 and 43.55. So 61.75 divided by 43.55 equals 1.4179. Yeah, call it 1.42. Near down at 1.412. It should have been 1.414 if it was being actually precise. I see no reason to use the average figures though, because the more accurate figures are obviously going to be the fastest runs that we can achieve using this method. not the slowest. There's no reason to include the slowest. That's just stupid. Well, I'm sure Gary would prefer to include the slowest because Gary has every motivation to want to spoil the result. He's not going to like an accurate result, and he's never going to reproduce experiments himself. He's never going to admit that he's wrong, that nature does this. It's not me making nature do this. Nature does this in spite of what I want or he wants. So, but that's what nature does. He can define nature all he wants. Right, so this is the next day, and I'm just saying, well, that's it. You know, this was the experiment that Gary said was the decider, would confirm things one way or the other, once and for all, once and for all. Do his words mean nothing? No, they don't. He's going to walk away from these words. He's going to bury this, just like he was quite happy to have that video buried. He even said, didn't he, yesterday, why go back? Because it's an important experiment that you proposed but never did. Gary, look, I don't really want to nag at you. I just wish you would be honest and say, look, I fucked up. We all do. Why not just concede the honest truth? This isn't the end of the matter, Gary. This isn't the only fundamental experiment that you've proposed and has turned out to be completely wrong from your perspective. There are a few more I've been doing lately. Hold on to your hat. Because you've got a lot of explaining to do, Gary, if you're going to stick to this stupid idea that Emily du Châtelet and all the other scientists of years gone by were talking garbage. It's you who's talking garbage, Gary. You really do need to face these facts.